I think the forest fire hitting Los Angeles this time has two dimensions to it. The first dimension is that, generally speaking, California, especially in that region around LA, is prone to forest fire. That's for sure, because of the dryness and other conditions. The second dimension is even more worrying. That is, this particular forest fire in particular, as we know by now, it has caused a tremendous amount of property damage and panic among the population and some loss of life. Now, this is particularly troublesome for several reasons. One is that California is one of the largest economy in terms of its size, not only in the United States, but in the world. That means California has enough financial wherewithal and, if necessary, together with the federal assistance, to make sure that such natural disaster, if and when they happen, do not cause that much damage to the people. Now, secondly, it is even more worrying that, as being reported, some of the hydrants do not have water to be connected, for example, and some of the local governments are out of fire engines, and there are many other excuses. But I would say all these excuses, in their own particular capacity, all combined together, are very lame excuses, because fundamentally it exposes the inefficiency of the government and the emergency response, both at the local level, at the state level, as well as at the federal level. Now, in California, as being reviewed by this particular tragedy, no one seems to be eager to be responsible. So I think it's probably natural for different government levels try to kick the ball back and forth, up and down, to minimize their own responsibility and shift the attention to the other side. And I think the Republicans have used this opportunity to accuse the Democratic leadership in California and try to shift their responsibility to the Democrats and vice versa. Now, nothing of this kind would minimize the damage and the loss and the agony and the tragedy of the people in the disaster-stricken region. Now, I think the United States, while in the world preaching about their global leadership, really need to think twice about what they are doing at home, especially in protecting the lives and the properties of the ordinary citizen, as well as other citizens in the country, in the region. And you cannot just let the whole world see how weak and how ineffective the US response to disasters like that. Now, the fire disaster this time hitting California is not one incident in isolation. And this really should be reasons for the United States to think twice and to pause and to reflect. And if they are not good enough in dealing with the consequences, maybe they can learn from other countries.